Great. Slowly we can practice. I don't have any further schedules. I'm not planning now. Once this batch is clear, only I'm going to schedule a new batch. I don't have any, you know, the rush on this batch. But interest need your end only. Then we will learn slowly the new things. Okay, let me create a cluster. I'll plan a project. I'll explain end to end using Jenkins. The project CSCD and Argo CD. Again, I'm going to explain everything in the project itself. Yeah, definitely there is a right. We have a 4 to 5 projects in the queue now through Jenkins, Argo CD. If you are interested, GitLab CSCD. GitLab CSCD, you need to start your end. Let me install kubectl. What happened if control node is not our node, right? Control node managed by AWS. So they will provide automatically high availability for that, like RDS, how they're giving, right? In COPS, we have to maintain. COPS control node down means we have to manage it. I will show COPS process also. But real time only we are using EKS, AKS, GKE. No kubeadium, no COPS process. Minikube process is there. Minikube is practice environment. Just practice environment. I'm not discussing Minikube. The reason we have a third-party vendors directly. 2-3 years back, no, we don't have any third-party vendors like a Killer Coda, Kubernetes Ground, Playground, and all. So there we practice Minikube. But now we have directly Killer Coda platform, right? So even no need to get a single server. Directly we can practice over there. Yesterday class center I took in Killer Coda only practice environment. So you have to be strong EKS or AKS or GK. That's it. Okay. Which concept I need to discuss today? RBAC. This is user account. RBAC will work or not. Let's see. ESET admin role is there. Volumes pending, right? Let's go for volumes. Okay. So external storage path, dynamic and static. Okay. So guys, volumes are mandatory for which type of applications? Stateful applications, MySQL, database applications. So definitely volumes are mandatory. But so in my front-end application, Node.js application, back-end application, Node.js application, volumes are required or not? Not required, except database applications. Why? Yes, if you can see this layer, where the data will be stored? Here only, right? So if this server is deleted, created one more server, is there any problem? Do I need to maintain any state here? No. Fresh server also create from same AMI. So AMI already, launch template already, we have already configured. So same server will come, same application will come. Here also, same server, same application. But here, we don't have any database auto scaling group and all, right? So we have to manage this data. In this case, definitely in the Kubernetes concept, here volumes are mandatory. For example, if you create RDS, where the volume will store? Storage is there, right? EBS storage is there, RDS. Same, we are providing EBS storage for my pod and MySQL pod. This is MySQL RDS. This is MySQL instance. Now MySQL pod is inside EC2 instance. Pod inside MySQL is running. But pod can write the data, right? Can read the data. But where the data will be stored? Volumes. So if the pod will delete na, same pod should create, same name should create, same volume should attach. Understand these 3 points are very important. If pod can attach a different volume, no use, right? The volume, for example, 930, the RDS, MySQL DB pod is deleted. After 945, MySQL pod is created. 930 till 930, whatever data is there, it should be restored into the new pod. In that case, it will take same volume again to the new pod also. Same volume means already data is there, right? Same. Okay. Go to volumes. So we have a 3 type of paths. Static host path, clear, right? As we already discussed. Deployment.ml. So calling what? Volume climb. This climb is calling to PV. How PV PVC will communicate? Based on the storage and access modes. Clear now? So, so what is the volume? Already we know the definition of the volume. So static host path PV PVC deployment not recommended if node is deleted, volume also delete. So static path limitations, the host path volume local to the node where it was created. If your pod is rescheduled on the different node, it will try to use the same path on the new node. However, this directory on the new node will not have the data from the original node, leading to the data loss. Clear or not? What I'm trying to say this statement. Pod deleted, pod should be created on same node host path. If you create on different node, the volume will not be restored. Right or not? You tell me one thing. Host path I'm talking about. Host path. So 2 nodes are there. If my pod created on host path, where I'm able to see 2 nodes, node 1, if I apply PV now, PV, PVC and deployment.yaml also. Now on which node the volume path will create MNT data? First time, which node? My and two nodes are there. So any node means where the pod is going to be scheduled. Very important. Where the pod is going to be scheduled, their path will be created. For example, my and two replicas are there. So two replica means one is master, one is replica. So master is here, replica is here, for example. So this is master. So path will create here, here also. Two nodes also path create. But what is the difference? This is master, this is replica. Replica delete means replica should create again in the node 2 itself only. Clear? Even here create also no problem. As read replica also sync with master, right? Same data will come. Here, same data. But only the difference is what? This node can accept write, read. This is only read. But there is an ambiguity here. The ambiguity means what? Pod should land on same node if you delete also. So even node also deleted, enter data also deleted. Right or not? So this is not at all recommended way. So that's what? Create a volume external. Access from there. Node can access, right or not? Yeah. So what I'm going to do, we have an option, take a EBS volume or EFS. Mostly we are using EBS volumes. Amazon EBS. So your front end, your back end is here, right? So front end not required any volume. It's application only, right? Stateless application. No need to store any data. Now front end will communicate to back end. Back end will communicate to database. Database on EC2, database on RDS, database on pod, whatever it is. So definitely, if it is a RDS itself volume is there, right? It will take care. If it is instance inside EBS volume is there, right? It will take. But pod, there is no EBS volume for pod, right? We have to create. So my EBS volume is here. So my pod is land here now. This node has to be connect this EBS volume. This node also able to connect this volume. Then in this case, pod can create or here this volume can able to access your pod. For example, these two nodes able to connect a volume. Now pod is created here. So records are added here automatically. This pod is deleted. What will happen? The pod is created here. Is there any problem? This node are able to access EBS volume, right? So same volume will be attached to this pod. So even no delete also, is there any problem? No, still it's additional storage. So we don't have any problem. So volume high availability also there. The whatever data inconsistency ambiguity also we can easily overcome. Clear? Okay. Guys, stateful set. So my end two replicas are there database. Which YAML file I should use? Stateful set or deployment? My database two replicas are there. So which type of YAML I should use? Stateful set. Why? Why stateful set? What is the benefits? Huh? What are the benefits we'll get? Maintain the state. Same pod name will come. Pod deleted, same pod name will come. And also it will be attached to same volume to same pod also. Now I will show you. If my database, there is no replicas, only one database, which YAML I can use? Any YAML I can use. So one database means the database only the read plus write also, right? If delete the database, same database will create. We no need to maintain the state. If 1, 2, 3 are there, which one is read replica, which one is master, we need a stateful set. Only one database is there. Deployment also we can go with that. Let's create so in this case, you can take, let me explain now. Meanwhile, cluster is creating. So my end 2 worker nodes are there. So here I'm going to deploy a front-end and back-end applications. So 2 worker node inside, for example, my front-end pod is 2 replicas, back-end pod also 2 replicas. 2 replicas means 2 pods. The pod can land on anywhere, right? Here, right or not? Front-end pod. Back-end pod also you can deploy. Automatically it will deploy same only, right? Same node or different node. That will take care by your service. Clear? Front end we have a separate service, back end we have a separate service. Clear or not? So front end service, if you create a load balancer, request will enter first through load balancer to load balancer service. This service to where? Front end pods. Next, front end pods service will communicate to back end. Back end service will communicate to back end pod. Back end pods. Again, we have a service, right? For what? Create a, connect a database. Clear? This database, this backend will communicate to service. This service will communicate to database. Clear? Clear till here? This database type is what? RDS or MySQL and EC2 or MySQL Postgres. Any database. DB pod, DB EC2 or RDS. DB on EC2, DB on RDS. We have three options, right? No, front and back end database, how it will work, I'm saying here. So we have three services, right? Front end service responsibility to external traffic. Back end service responsibility to front end to back end communication. And back end service responsibility to back end service to database communication. So database, we have three options. DB on EC2, DB on pod, RDS. But real time, mostly we are taking RDS only. Why? We have so many issues here. If I take a DB on EC2, DB on pod. So read replica problem, high availability problem, scalability problem, configurations issues, consistency issues, data ambiguity, so many issues are there. If I go for RDS, simply they will take care, you can easily work on this area. That's what. But if I want to go with Debian pod, you should create what? AML file, right? Debian pod means you should create a AML file. The AML is what? Stateful set or deployment.aml? Stateful set. So deployment.aml also we can create if replicas are 0. Okay, only 1 DB. Okay, kubectl get nodes. Very interesting. Focus now. Okay, m install git-y. Git clone. Git to clone. Volumes are a little difficult, guys. Focus, huh? Here only the main issues will come. If I use RDS concept, do I need to worry about volumes? No. Kubernetes volumes, no need to focus. Even stateful set also no need to focus. Okay, let's go for dynamic volume provision. Okay, so in static host path, we have a pv.aml, pvc.aml, and deployment.aml. But dynamic path, we don't have pv. We have a sc, storage class.aml. PV will replace with storage class if you use a dynamic volume external storage provision. Storage class.aml responsibility to create a EBS volume in AWS cloud. That volume we can climb to deployment through PVC. Clear? So static path static path process. First we should create what? PV, then PVC, and then deployment, right? So PV communicate to PVC, PVC will climb the deployment. This is the process. But dynamic volume provision, here storage class will come, the AML file name. Storage class, then PVC, then same deployment. Clear the process? Storage class dot YML. This is PVC. This is deployment. Clear? Yeah. Okay. In this case, yeah, name always should be PVC.ml. The store, I mean, which name? You can give here any name, no problem. I'm not giving storage class, right? SC.ml. You can give any name. But inside, metadata should be that for kind. Kind should be persistent volume. Kind should be persistent volume client. So storage class also, so we need to focus more on this area, guys. One more time I'm saying. Kind is what? When we can use storage class, once we deal with a dynamic inventory provisions. Clear? So name is what? EBS storage. Provision is what? EBS ESA driver. Volume binding mode, wait for first consumer. I will tell you what it is. Reclaim policy, delete and retain. Okay. So guys, wait for first consumer or immediate. Two conditions are there. Immediate means if I create a storage class now, volume will be created. EBS volume. But I don't want create immediately. When the requirement will come, at the time only the volume should be created. Then wait for first consumer. Wait for first consumer means when you create a first pod required volume, right? Immediately the storage class will create EBS volume. This is the condition. Volume binding mode. Okay. Next, reclaim policy. Like auto scaling. Reclaim auto policy. Reclaim policy, delete and retain. Delete means, okay, let me show you. So this is the concept here. Reclaim policy, delete. This default one, which means whenever PVC deleted, PV will delete automatically, created by storage class. But EBS volume will be not delete. If you want to delete manually. So reclaim policy means, see, which means whenever PVC deleted, claim deleted, automatically the background allocation deleted, but still EBS volume is there. But this volume is not going to attach to any deployment. The reason claim you have deleted, right? So reclaim policy. Retain means it will always persistent. Even your claim always persistent, even deployment also deleted. Clear? But if you give a delete means deployment delete now, for example, the background PVC delete automatically, but volume should be there, storage class should be there, and retain means only deployment will delete, still PVC will be there. Why? If the same pod will create again, this will be attached to that deployment pod. Understand that these two difference? Yeah. Types of volume binding. Immediate means this is default one, PV created immediately, the background. Volume binding, wait for first consumer. PV will be created only, any pod will climb the storage only. Understand? Okay, I'll show practically, we'll get a clarity. Okay, so let's see now. kubectl apply hyphen. Okay, before that, here you can see this volume climb template is there, right? This volume climb template you can create a separately like a PVC and give a PVC name here like yesterday, or enter climb template also you can add inside the deployment HTML. PVC we have created separately, right? So if you want, you can take this PVC separately and give a volume name here, PVC volume name, or enter template you can add inside the deployment HTML. See how much storage it is going to be created? 1 GB. From where? EBS storage. So this climb will call, this climb is going to be called your storage class name. Understand? Your climb is going to call storage class name. Storage class once you apply, okay, EBS is ready to create. When EBS is ready to create, when the climb is used, when the climb is used, when the deployment is ready. Clear? Okay. We'll discuss one by one. First, suppose kubectl get PV. No resource found. So nothing is there, right? See, concentrate now. This is little difficult one. Apply hyphen f dot means all YAML files it will be applied. Okay. Now storage class is created. Next stateful set is created. Let's focus. Volume insights. This is the volume provision. Deployment HTML, stateful set. MySQL pods, how many? 3 created. Now see the difference. kubectl. My first pod is pending. See, stateful set create sequence process. When the MySQL one will create, when the 0 is success only. Clear or not? First master should be created, then only replica, right? Master is pending, so replica is also pending automatically. 0 success, next 1. 1 success, next 2. Sequence process stateful set will be executed. Sequence process stateful set will be deleted. Stateful set maintain the track of the state with same name also. Okay. Why my MySQL pod is pending? So let's understand now. kubectl describe a pod MySQL 0. L missing. Okay. Okay. You can see environment volume mount and all what volumes claim name is okay. Persistence volume as a reference to persistence volume claim in the same namespace. Okay. Okay. Anyway, kubectl logs mysql 0. No logs means pod is not created, so no logs. Okay. So my pod still pending, but here just there is no information here. So what we can do first, we can check kubectl get PVC. My PVC is pending state. If climb is not ready na, deployment and no volume. Deployment no volume is what is the use to without volume to create a MySQL database, right or not? Without volume is there any use? In that case, so database is on pending state, volume is pending state. So first volume and we have to clear the issue, then database is automatically going to be created. Let's check PV is not created. Okay, understand this time. So if I want to debug the issue, kubectl describe PVC, give a PVC name. External provisioning, normal external provisioning, persistence volume, waiting for a volume to be created either by identify provision is running correctly, registered volume is delayed. Okay. So guys, here waiting for the first consumer. First consumer means where if the pod is created, then automatically provision the thing. Okay, let's go for now. Yeah. So the first thing is what we need to do. Your node EBS ESI AWS.com driver is there, right? So this driver we should install, or we have a process. Go to EKS. This is my cluster. Click on the cluster. There is a concept add-on. Okay, this feature we can use this feature and you can install any dependencies. For example, my cluster inside my node is unable to communicate to EBS volume. EBS is a out of the cluster, right? So EBS is a out of a cluster. So we have to give provision for EBS ESA driver provision. In general, we can install EBS ESA driver through Helm or GitHub, or simply the best method is click on add-on. Already these many added already. See metric server, I told you, right? If metric server is not there, we have to install the metric server at the horizontal pod auto scaling. But new version automatically metric server is already added as add-on. That's what you are able to access simply kubectl top command. Let's check. No, here no EBS CSA driver. Get more add-ons. Click on here. What I need here, EBS CSA driver. If you want to work with EFS CSA driver, you can select this. S3 CSA driver also there, EKS. Next, create. Now add-ons you can see, EBS CSA driver also added. Now 5 add-ons. Before 4 add-ons, only now 5 add-ons. Let's come now. kubectl delete -f dot delete everything. pending state still. Let me delete this kubectl delete pvc. Okay, let's reapply. Still pending. Again, cross check pvpvc. PV not good. So kubectl describe PVC. Name also same, right? See PVC volume also same. This time different issue. Could not create a volume in EC2. Operation error EC2 create a volume HTTPS error response status code is 403. API unauthorized operations. You are not authorized to perform this operation. This role. So this role is not authorized to create a EBS volume. Let's take this role. This role will get automatically when you create a cluster. This is for node group role. Total 2 roles are there. One is cluster role at the time of creation. Once you create a node group, let's see here. Compute. See node group, if you click here, you can see nodes are created, right? So yeah, this is the role. This is the role for node group. So your node unable to communicate to EBS volume. Why? Whatever role attached to your node, that role is unauthorized, unable to access EC2 EBS. Let's go to IAM role. Give the role name. Let's refresh. See, this is the one, right? Clear? Open this role. This role automatically created. EC2 full access is not container only there. So I'm going to access. I'm going to give EC2 full access. Add permissions. Okay. Let's delete now. Again. Or reapply also. Okay. Okay. Delete from the scratch. Okay. Mine nothing is there, right? So kubectl delete. One more time. Nothing is there. Yeah. Kubectl apply -f dot. Now kubectl create pending or container creating. Container creating means process is initiated. Kubectl get PVC. Not pending, right? Bound stays. PV also created, right? This PV creates from storage class. Understand? We haven't created any pv.yaml file, right? PV will create from the storage class. This PV can use for PVC. That PVC can use for deployment. Clear? But static host path is there in storage class.yaml? Directly PV you can create. But provision is what here? PV. The provision creating by storage class. Clear? Now the question is very interesting now. How many pods are running? Each pod, provision means provide. Each pod, same volume, I mean, 3 pods are having same volume or each pod different volume? Same volume. Okay. In that case, let me show you. How many PVC climbs are there? Why 3? Read replica, RDS read replica and master both are using same EBS volume. Read replica separate EBS volume, right? And master separate volume, right? But they are sync. That's it only, right? If both are same value means master delete means read replica also delete. In this case, should I provide a different volume paths or same volume path master and read replica? Different. Read replica delete means read replica only create. At the time of read replica, we should give a read replica volume to read replica. In this case, volume should be separate, right? Right or not? So, here you can see the PV. How many PVs are there? 3. Now PVs are 1 GB. So this storage depends on your deployment.ml. My deployment.ml inside, I have already updated what? 1 GB. My claim already there here. Or you can create pvc.ml separately, give pvc.ml name here. Understand what I'm trying to say? Static host path inside is what? Volumes. I'm calling what? Persistent volume claim. This persistent volume claim separately created. You can add this inside deployment.ml also here. Same like this. Or create separately and call the name like this, persistent volume claim. Clear the difference? So both ends PVC is mandatory or not? Mandatory. What is a PVC? Claim to give a provision to dependence, sorry, give provision to deployment, I mean my pod, my MySQL pod volume. To provide PVC, first your and PV should be there or not? Persistent volume that creates from where? Host hardware. Static host path I'm saying. So depends on the PV, you can use the PVC. My PV 5 GB means you can use up to 5 GB any volume to your deployment. But dynamic volume provision, there is no direct PV concept. But PV will create through storage class. PV should interact to EBS volume. But static host path PV can take only the EC2 instance volume. The difference is what here? In this case, storage class name is EBS storage, provision is what? CSI, EBS, CSI driver or provisioning here. Not same local host. That's what here storage class concept is there. But once you run this, the background PV will create. Clear now? Yeah. So kubectl get SC means storage class. My storage class is what? EBS storage class. Once I run this EBS CSI storage class, the background PVs will create. That PVs can use by PVC. The PVC can use by deployment. My deployment, for example, mine 2 GB is required. Yes, it will take 2 GB automatically. Why? There is no hard coded volume, right? Anywhere PV, only PV is inside, only we are giving my deployment inside, so it will take automatic. Clear now? Now if I delete my deployments, again create a new deployment, the new deployment again bound and automatically irrespective of PVC. Understand? Now if I go and check North Virginia volumes, how many volumes I can see? Yeah, 1 GB, see, 1 GB, 1 GB, 1 GB. One volume is for master, one volume is for replica, one volume is for replica. If replica deleted na, again replica create na, creating time, this volume will bound automatically. Whatever records are there, it will get back, right? Same records, right or not? Yeah. Now, see here. Let me log in. Okay. Let's go to check the username and password. Username is what? My user. Password is what? My password. Here I'm hard coding. Or what we can do? Config map secrets also we can write, right? Yeah. So root password, this one. Root user, this is MySQL user and password. Okay. MySQL -u root. Instead of MySQL, let's create a okay, just I'm creating a database only. To check one database is fine. Not no need to create tables and all, right. Now show databases test is there. Clear now? Exit from here. Guys, RDS, master and read replica same credentials or different credentials? Same credentials, right? That's what here also same credentials. Read replica, master will create from the same YAML file, right? Same credentials apply for read replica also. Clear or not what I'm trying to say? Let's log in. I'm going to log in MySQL. Okay, already log in, right? So let's go to now. kubectl delete pod MySQL 0 kubectl get pv. See guys, so my pv still 3 pvs are there. kubectl get pvs, 3 volumes also there. Clear what I'm trying to say? Now you can see kubectl get pod. Before that, my MySQL pod is deleted. Any PVC is deleted. Any PV is deleted. You can see the A's. Clear now? Now kubectl get pods. MySQL 0 running or not? But MySQL 0 will take which volume here? First one. This PVC climb, it will take which volume? Suitable, I mean, this one. Clear now? When the pod deleted, volume will be deleted. PVC will be deleted. This volume will be deleted. No, right? So inside the data will be stored or not? Again, pod is created and attached to which volume? Same volume or not? Not different volume. Why? Because of stateful set. Same volume it will be attached. Same name it will be follow. It will follow the tracking also. State has to be maintained. Now pod deleted created a same pod with the existing volume right now. So same data will be there or not? Data is not going to be lost, right? Yeah. This is a concept. PV, PVC, and if I increase the replica set, one more volume will create or not? Let's see. But real time we are not using RDS only, we are taking directly. Now challenges are there here. Container creating. Before that, PV should create, PVC should create, container will create. Running, right? Definitely running means background, definitely PVC will create it, right? See? Clear? A dedicated volume path is created or not each pod? Dedicated volume, dedicated name, dedicated path. Clear? See 75 seconds for MySQL 3. Now MySQL 3 pod, separate volume. Now MySQL 3, anything is read or write something, the data will be stored, this volume only automatically. Clear or not? Yeah. So separate volume path. So if whenever the pod only created, this volume process will be initiated. So wait for first consumer means what? Pod create only, volume will create. Clear? If I give 2 GB here, it's a forbidden. Let's take Oh, okay, we have to increase manually. Mhm. Auto restage option is not there. Anyway, this option is not there even database on EC2 also, right? Database is running on EC2. So auto restage option is not there, right? But auto restage option there when if you take RDS. If you take RDS, there is an option, right? Auto restage option, auto scaling for storage. Automatically it will. But Debian EC2, Debian port, this option is not there. Even via script also not there. Okay. Mhm. So in this case, we have to change manually only. Otherwise, delete deployment, create 1 GB to 2 GB, 2 GB to 3 GB. Otherwise, see, go with this option. This option is what? Manually, manually change. Yeah. See, I mean, this means you can directly go on increase volume here also. You can increase here also. Manually means, but automatic option not there through Kubernetes cluster. So these three volumes you can increase manually. That's what. Unlike the main reason is this is not manager service. But this option is enabled in ECS. ECS completely managed by AWS. So RDS also automatic resizing option is there. That is the reason RDS is managed by AWS providers. But this is EKS not managed by AWS providers. You are managing the things. So if you need, select and modify manually unless automation process. Hmm. See, they are saying that recommended way. Use cloud managed DB with autoscaling. Cloud management RDS. Which process is recommended DB on EC2, RDS or DB on pod. See, recommended for most production use. Clear now? This is recommended. So database is not on pod always, but we are just focusing if the pod database on pod, what kind of challenges. When I discussed the DB on EC2, same DB on pod, but always use cases. When to avoid DB inside Kubernetes pod? For development, use only its development testing environment, not production environment. You have to set up stateful set. Yes, we are discussing, right? And dynamic volume provision. Yes. Separate PV scaling automation. Volume scaling automation required, right? Why? Kubernetes does not provide automatically volume resizing, right? External monitoring is required. Why? Database is not RDS. RDS monitoring directly we can see. This is the thing. Very good information. Avoid DB in prod production unless your large dream when strong Kate experts handling backup, restore, scaling, disaster recovery. This is very important. What are guys, whatever documents I'm sharing that, please go through that first. Without go through the documents, again you are asking same questions. Day-to-day activities, roles and responsibilities, everything there in the document itself. If you check the document, you can understand. Without check the documents, sir, I need roles and responsibilities. I need day-to-day activities. Check the documents. Everything is there in that only. Your project documents. You can see here whatever I'm sharing. So end of the document, you can see I have already updated. If you see the document inside, you can understand instead of seeing the heading. Clearly mentioned, right? Roles and responsibilities, day-to-day activities. I have updated in the document. You just simply check the document headlines. It's an interview document only. How you can say that? You guys are saying that. Go through the document inside first. See, clearly mentioned, full example. Clearly mentioned, right? Till here, what you need to call in your interview. I work closely with the development and QA team to deploy new code changes through Git, Jenkins, ensuring every deployment, everything is what you need to say in your interview also I have updated. Okay, that's all for today. Please practice volumes. After complete DevOps, the project through DevOps also, CS, Jenkins and something, I will share same thing also. This is only AWS project without Jenkins, Terraform and all. After that, we have implemented the same project through Terraform, right? Now we are going to implement through Jenkins end-to-end with Argo CD. Same day-to-day activities, roles and responsibilities also we will give for that also. Okay, thank you so much. Bye. Please practice today the volumes.